Okay, welcome back. Today we are going to be doing another 2020 election prediction between Donald Trump and Joe Biden. So, this is going to be the June prediction. I did a prediction recently, so I decided to wait a few days before doing this one. So, I don't think that there's going to be too much that's different between this map and the previous one that I made, but obviously because of the protests going on, um, it's it's just going to hurt Donald Trump even more, I think. And so yeah, we'll see. Okay, here are the safe states, and then as usual, Missouri and Indiana, states that are probably still going to be safe, but I just like to point out that they maybe could be in play a little. New Mexico will be a likely Biden state. You could even argue safe for New Mexico. Could probably even argue safe for Virginia. Minnesota, I don't think that it would be safe, but I do think it'll be likely for sure. Joe Biden is probably, I would almost guarantee he'll win every Clinton state. I really think it's very unlikely that Donald Trump would flip any of them. Now, Michigan, I'm actually going to move up to a likely. I think I had it as a lean Biden state in my last prediction, but I'm going to have it as a likely Biden state in this one. Colorado, I'm going to say likely as well. I think I had this as a lean in the last one I did. But again, Donald Trump's popularity is just going downhill even further. New Hampshire is interesting. Again, I'm going to give this as a likely Biden state. To me, it just, I guess it could flip and maybe could be in play a little bit, but I don't think Donald Trump is going to target New Hampshire very heavily. It's only 4 electoral votes, and it's by no means crucial to his reelection campaign. If he loses the Rust Belt, it's not like New Hampshire's going to make up for it. Texas, I'm going to have as a lean this time instead of a likely. I don't think that there's really a possibility that Joe Biden's going to win Texas, but it could get a bit close. Iowa is kind of the same thing. I really don't think it's very likely that Biden's going to win that state. It's possible, I guess. Definitely more likely than Texas. But I do think it'll be close. Nevada. Nevada, again, this was a Clinton state. I really don't see it flipping and going for Donald Trump. I think that's very unlikely. I would give it as a lean to Biden, but you could probably argue likely on that one. Maine at large, I'm going to go likely for Joe Biden. Again, I could see it being a bit narrower, but in general, his popularity, Donald Trump's popularity, is just going downhill. So, Pennsylvania and Wisconsin are the 2 Rust Belt states that I think are really, really in play. I know that Michigan is very important, but I just don't think Donald Trump's going to carry Michigan again. However, he very well could carry Wisconsin again, maybe even Pennsylvania. So I'm going to give Pennsylvania as a lean Biden state, and then I'm going to give Wisconsin as a tilt Biden state. But you could argue that one as a lean. Ohio is interesting. It's, polling has actually showed it being a lot closer. As of the February national approval rating polls in Ohio, it was a net approval for Trump of 0. So I could see anything happening in Ohio. I was fairly confident in the last one I made that Donald Trump would win that state, but I actually think that, if Donald Trump doesn't recover um, by election day and he's not more popular, then I could actually see him losing Ohio. But I'm going to come back to that in a minute. Georgia, I'm going to put as a lean Trump state. Again, kind of like Texas and Iowa. I don't think there's much of a chance that Biden wins, but I do think it could become very close if he does decide to target that state. Arizona. Arizona, I do think it's going to be a Biden state. I'm going to go a lean. Um, I think a lot of people are getting more and more confident about Arizona going to Biden, and as time goes on, frankly, I could see him getting a pretty good margin in Arizona, and I do think he'll win it. Florida, I'm going to move to a tilt for Joe Biden. I think it'll be very close. I think this is the only state so far that I've actually flipped from red to blue from my last prediction to now. But again, Donald Trump's popularity is going way downhill, and I could see Florida flipping to Biden. It was already within the realm of possibility. You could even argue a lean for that one. So North Carolina, obviously it's been getting more Democratic, kind of like Georgia, and to an extent Florida. And North Carolina is a state that I think Biden has a very good chance of winning North Carolina, but he would probably have to focus heavily on it. The chances of him winning North Carolina might be better than winning Ohio, just because they're sort of moving in opposite directions. So that's basically what I'll say. I will put a lean margin for Trump in Ohio, and I will put a tilt margin for Biden in North Carolina. In Maine's 2nd Congressional District, I'm going to go with a lean Trump margin. It is a little bit odd, but I do think he's going to carry that electoral vote like he did 4 years ago. Theoretically, it could flip to Biden, but even if Biden does really well nationally, I don't really see that flipping. Nebraska CD2, I could actually see this going to Biden, but I'm going to make it a tilt. So yeah, that's my start of June prediction. 334 electoral votes to 204 with Biden winning. So this shows a much larger margin than the previous prediction did, but Biden would still win the election. So that's about it, and I'll catch you later.